This is a test of the GHSTV broadcast. This is an audio test.
right, Lion fans, you are looking at a live feed from tonight's matchup between Pea Ridge and your Gravette Lions. I'm Seth McKenzie, and we're behind the microphone tonight, bringing you all the play-by-play action through this production of GHSTV and Lion Letterman. Tonight's game is brought to you by the fine sponsors of Lion Letterman, Bank of Gravette, H&K Heating and Air, Teasley Drug, Gravette Athletic Booster Club, Women's Health Associates, and Studio Ozark. And also tonight's GHSTV game sponsor is Alumni Mini Storage. So folks, coming into tonight's game, Pea Ridge brings a 3-2 record. They started the season out kind of rocky. I think probably adjusting to so many new faces in so many different areas of the game. They lost to Harrison 45-14 to start the matchup, to start the year. Lost to Maumelle 40-30, and then they have won 3 in a row, beating Farmington 42-0, Gentry 27-7, and then Lincoln 24-14. So it's been a pretty successful 3 weeks for the Blackhawks after starting the season 0-2. We'll pause now for the rest of the national anthem. So, as I was saying before, the anthem and the pledge of a moment of silence, Pea Ridge brings a 3-2 record in overall after losing their first 2 games to 5A opponents. And then since that second game of the season, it seems like they've started to right the ship a little bit, maybe figure some things out, really kind of highlighted by that final non-conference game victory against Farmington. It was the week after Farmington defeated the Lions 40-2, and I had thought that Farmington was going to be able to come out and really kind of establish themselves early and be more physical and really get another victory for themselves in the non-conference, and Pea Ridge beat them 42-0. So it wasn't exactly as if it was a competitive game, and they really put it to the Cardinals. And then headed into the conference season, and they have who in the last few years has kind of traditionally been two of the teams toward the bottom of the league, and they beat Gentry 27-7 on one of the Friday nights when it was extremely wet and nasty, and then they beat Lincoln last week by 10, 24-14, and it'll be interesting tonight. I had a few, I guess, key questions, not really keys to victory, about tonight's game for the Lions. And really, for me, looking at this game, I think that we really just need to see Gravette be competitive and come out and continue to fight and to have pride and be able to just show Pea Ridge that even though they're 0-5, they're not going to come out and just lay out and roll their helmets out for them and give them an easy victory. You know, I think last week against Prairie Grove tends to do this. It seems like they have a lot of momentum in the middle part of the season. They get better and better and better as the season goes along. As you know, they started out 0-2 as well, just like Pea Ridge did, and just like Pea Ridge have rattled off 3 straight victories, and they came in last week and spoiled Gravette's homecoming, being ahead 35-0 at halftime, on their way to a 42-0 win. So it'll be interesting to see what the Lions bring, at least in terms of competition, how they battle. If they fall down by a couple of scores early, it just seems like they're not the kind of team that has shown that they're built to come back from that sort of deficit. I think that you need to see Gravette be able to come out and maybe match Pea Ridge score for score early. If they're able to do that, then I think you're going to see some of the heads kind of raise up and the confidence level go up. And I think that obviously at this point, you're just looking for a victory. You know, when you're 0-5, the biggest thing that you can do is obviously get a victory, and right now I know that's the number one goal, but there's a lot of things that are going to have to fall into place tonight before that happens for Gravette, as Pea Ridge is still a good football team, even though they're replacing so much from last season. I mentioned it on the podcast earlier today. They have 4 players from last season on Division II football rosters right now, and that's nothing to shake a stick at. That's a pretty good output of players that they had last season, but those guys aren't here anymore. So you've seen some new faces. You're going to hear a few new names over the course of the night, and we'll just kind of see what Gravette puts on the field. I've heard a few rumors that there's going to be some guys in a few different positions. Not necessarily anyone being replaced, but more just different use of personnel. So we may see some new folks lining up behind center, a new face there. We may see some new guys carrying the football. I believe Trenton Durham is back from injury tonight. He suffered a broken collarbone in some of the preseason drills, so we haven't had his services. And I know coming into fall camp, he was considered to be the number 1 running back. So it'll be interesting to see how he's able to come in and respond in his first action as a high school football player, but especially coming off of injury. And to my left in the booth, you can't see him, longtime Gravette defensive coordinator, Coach Duke Mobley, one of my high school coaches.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing really good. Excited to see a ball game tonight.
Coach Mobley has said he's been to every game so far this year, except for Jay. And I'm going to go ahead and pretend that he watched every second of the Lion Letterman broadcast that night. He did. Okay. He confirms that he did. Okay, good. So Coach Mobley said maybe later on during the game he may come up here and join me. I might even just give him the headset and let people quit listening to me. Probably have more viewers that way. Waving at Coach Cole as he sits down in his seat. We're about 2.5 minutes from kickoff. See you a little bit, Coach.
Okay.
So if you're watching at home, do me a favor and share the link on your Facebook pages or your Twitter, or copy and paste it in a text message to somebody, and you'll get the word out that the live stream is available and it's free, and it's all courtesy of our sponsors. super thankful for that. I'm going to go ahead and do that myself now. I'll go ahead and get it out there for folks. But if you can do that, if somebody's wondering, hey, how do I get here? How do I watch? You're about to find out. It's got about a minute and a half left before kickoff here. The Lions are building up inside of the inflatable tunnel. Mr. Galloway, our hero, is here with rosters.
Steal it from me. It's going to copy for a minute.
Not sweat. Oh, for which one?
Ridge. Sure. I'll take it during the first grab and play. During the first grab and drive, I'll take the Pea Ridge roster down.
Oh, okay. And the Lions are coming out on the field wearing their black tops with their orange pants. It's a warm, muggy night here in Gravette. If you're someone who lives out of the area, wondering what the weather is like, got a beautiful sunset across the hilltop over here to the west side of the stadium. It's an unseasonably warm first Friday in October. But really, I think only maybe the second or third week this season so far where the weather will not play a factor in terms of precipitation. We played a monsoon against Farmington. It rained against Lincoln. And I believe the field was pretty wet when they played Jay as well. Oh, producer Summer says no. She said it was bone dry, like the desert. She said it was hot. So Isaac Dan, who has carried most of the load in the backfield this season for the Lions, is the deep man. He's standing at about the 1 yard line. Hunter Cole back to his right, standing at the hash mark. He's going to walk up probably about the 10, and then Roberto Barrios is back there with him to his left. The referee blows his whistle and we're underway. So the kickoff is high, it's end over end. It's going to be fielded by Barrios at the 10. Roberto has a nice gain out across the 25. Looks like they're going to spot him about the 27-yard line. So a pretty good field position for the Lions. A little bit of a sky kick strategy there by the Blackhawks. Sometimes coaches, if the kicker can't get it into the end zone, sometimes they're afraid that he'll kick it on a line, getting straight to the returner. And that can cause trouble for a kickoff coverage team. So Cy Hilder is at quarterback for the Lions, so the change at that position is there. Hilder takes a snap that hits the ground. He's going to come out throwing it. He throws it out to White, and it looks like Hilder's pass is going to be intercepted. That play kind of was in trouble from the get-go as the snap was down on the ground and down by his left foot, and he picked it up and just turned and slung it. White tried to make a good play on the ball, but it kind of went over his head just a little bit too much. So Tajay White was lined up there in the slot to the left, so the guy that's been the starting quarterback for the last year and a half for the Lions out at receiver, and now he also is going to be on defense. So Pea Ridge's first play from scrimmage looks like it's going to pick up about 7 or 8 yards. So we'll call it a 3-yard gain, so it's going to be 2nd down and 3 for Pea Ridge. Came out running the football there. Handoff again to the left side. He's going to pick up a first down. He's going to gain about 5 yards. So the ball is across midfield now and into Lion territory. They're going to spot it at about the 42-yard line, maybe closer to the 41. It looks like on the defensive front for the Lions to start the game, Aiden Patton, Jared Barker, and Dakota Lemons are the 3 big guys down on the line. They want to fake the same play they've been running to the left, and the football is dropped. It was a good throw by the quarterback. A little across the middle pattern there on the play action. And the receiver was open, but still an incompletion. So it's going to be second down and 10. The clock's going to stop after that pass hits the ground. Peter's coming out throwing again. This time they throw out to the left side, a little quick hitter. The tackle looks like it's made by Hilger. It's going to be about a 6-yard gain, and maybe closer to 7, but we'll call it 3rd and 4. So it's third down for the Lions defense here, and a big third down. You have to think that even if Pea Ridge doesn't get any yards here, that they will go for it. What Gravette needs to hope for here is a turnover or a loss. They're going to run that same play they've been running, and he's going to pick up the first down. And nobody really can get him down as he goes inside the 20-yard line. Tackled by a few Lions in there. Looks like they're going to spot it about the 17, so it's going to be first down and goal for Pea Ridge, who isn't having any trouble moving the football right now. A big game going on at Shiloh Christian tonight as Prairie Grove travels to take on the Saints. I'll be giving you a few updates there as the game goes along. So Pea Ridge on a little option play. A good job by Tajay White stringing it out there. It's going to be a short gain. Looks like they're going to give him, let's call it 3 yards. Joined up here in the booth now by Brody Bohannon. He's going to help me spot out some guys tonight, aren't you? Yes. Okay, all right. All right, so the Blackhawks have a second down. We'll call it 8. So a naked bootleg, and it's a wide open receiver in the end zone. Touchdown for Pea Ridge. So the naked bootleg play results in a touchdown thrown to number 88, Braden Ralph. Having listed at 6'1", 175. Looks quite a bit bigger than that when he caught that ball. So it took Pea Ridge about 2.5 minutes to drive the length. And they run a 2-point play there, and it's going to be good. They kind of did a little swinging gate formation, as most people who played football know about, and Carson Ryan takes it in for the 2-point conversion. So it's 8-0 with 9 minutes and 35 seconds left. So it took Pea Ridge about 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go from the 40 to get a touchdown there. So it's 8-0, Pea Ridge. And folks, we want to give a shout out tonight to one of our sponsors, Bank of Gravette. They're the oldest bank in Benton County, and they want you to score a touchdown with their various account options, customer service, and hometown pride. You can give them a call at the Gravette branch at 479-787-5251, or just stop by their location on Main Street in Gravette. And they also have new hours that just started this week at their locations in Gravette, Hiawassee, and Centerton. All right, so Pea Ridge kicking off to Gravette. Gravette again was just one play on an interception. Barris is going to field the kick again. He's going to reverse field, gets a few yards before he's taken down. Not quite the return he had last time. It looks like they're going to give him a spot out to about the 17-yard line. So we'll see what sophomore Cy Hilger can do. Coming out here on his second drive. White split out in the slot to the right. There's the handoff. Pea Ridge's defense sniffs that out pretty quickly. It looks like number 36, I believe, Keegan Addison. No gain on the play, maybe even lost half a football. Can't really tell where they've marked it there, but that's, maybe they gained half a football, so still going to be 2nd and 10. So the Lions taking their time, getting the play in, coming out of the huddle. He's got Hunter Cole out to the left. Having some difficulty with the snap, it looks like right now, even though they're in a short shotgun. I believe that was Addison again on the carry, maybe a yard, so it's 3rd down. And I'm not sure what the officials are discussing. I didn't see them stop the clock. Now they are. Still not exactly sure what's going on here. All right. Well, it's a personal foul face mask on Pea Ridge. I didn't see a flag, did you? Nobody up here saw a flag, but that's okay. We'll take it. So 1st down and 10, the ball now just across the 35-yard line. Hilger under center. He's going to take it as a sweep out to White to try to take advantage of White's speed on the backfield there. He's going to pick up maybe a half yard there. But you can tell why they decided to move White to the backfield. He gives the Lions a little bit more of a dynamic runner at that position, and it gives him different ways to get the football in his hand rather than just playing quarterback. So if you're wondering why would they take our quarterback and move him to running back, mostly because he has a pretty good skill set that they can take advantage of, and they have Cy Hilger, who's a good young quarterback for the Lions, and likely will be the starter the next 2 years, so start getting him the experience now. White comes in motion toward the play. Again, the snap is a bullet off to the left of Hilger. So again, having some issues with the snap, and it looks like it's coming back there super fast. So let's say a loss of 5 on the play, so 3rd and 14 now. And just like we've talked about all season long, the Lions just not built to overcome being behind the chains by quite a bit, which they are right now. Meaning they need 3rd down and short distances. They need 3rd down and 3, 3rd down and 2. They start getting in 3rd and 14. They're just not the kind of team that looks like they're built to get yards in big chunks. But for Pea Ridge to come with some pressure here. They actually sit back. Hilger delivers a pretty nice football. It looks like White might have been a little slow getting out of his break. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Lions. So the one positive was the personal foul face mask that gave the Lions 15 yards, but they can't capitalize off of that. High snap. Barrios does a good job just getting it off. He's going to end up getting a pretty fortunate bounce there as it goes at least on the other side of midfield, but it only flips the field if you count where the 1st down marker was. It flips the field about 5, maybe 6 yards. So Pea Ridge once again with really good field position. Brody, what tends to happen when you give good offenses good field position?
They could score.
They could score. So the Lions defense needs to stiffen their necks a little bit here. Had a late guy running out onto the field, and a good play there by Colton Grimes as he's going to bring their quarterback, Tate Busey, down for a loss. I believe that was Colton Grimes, right? 42? Okay. So a loss on the play. Let's call it 2 yards, even though I think that they're going to give him a pretty decent forward progress spot. 2nd down and 12. The Lions having a hard time getting set over here. And a great play coming up and making a play on the football. I believe that's Hunter Cole. It looks like he's going to have to come out. He's got maybe like a strap or something broken on his helmet, so that's going to be unfortunate. It's 3rd down and 10. Great play by Hunter Cole there, making the read, planting his foot, and coming up and just making the tackle. Sometimes you see those guys come up and fly up and miss the tackle. Not that time. So Busey drops back. He's got a little bit of pressure from Grimes up the middle. He throws the ball out of bounds, and so it's going to be 4th down. So the Lions hold. They're going to get the football back here. And so a little bit of life. Coach Bohannon excited about that. And being able to have Tajay Wright not at quarterback, I mentioned some different ways to get the football in his hands. Guess who's back to return the punt? Tajay Wright. Pea Ridge definitely offsides there. Number 16, the split end down here, the gunner on a punt team. Justin Kuhn, a little bit eager to take off. Illegal motion. Offsides. It's actually going to end up being a really good punt for Pea Ridge, even though it came out like a bullet and went about 20 feet high. It was going end over end in the right direction, and the ball is going to be spotted at the 11-yard line. Folks, H&K Heating and Air has been in business since 1999. As a small company, they have the goal of building their business in a methodical way by establishing one relationship at a time. They want you to know their customers are the best advertising they can have. H&K is proudly owned by some old line lettermen, and they want to provide you with all of your heating and cooling needs. You can call them at 479-366-1691. So Gravette with their 3rd possession of the game. Let's see what we can do here. Again, Cy Hilger starting at quarterback for Tajay Wright, who has been on the field as a running back and as a receiver. And I believe that pass goes to Tajay there, and he's going to... They said he stepped out of bounds after a 5-yard gain. It was right there on the sidelines, and referee right there on it. So let's call it a 4-yard gain out to about the 15. So you're already seeing different ways to get Tajay White the football. He's been a punt returner. He's been in motion. He's been out of the backfield. And then now getting swing passes. I believe that is White lined up next to Hilger in the backfield. So Pea Ridge kind of has to take into account there's really 2 quarterbacks there in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to White. He's got the speed that we haven't had at that position the last few weeks, and it looks like he steps out again, but Pea Ridge not able to bring him down. The only thing that stopped him the last 2 plays has been the sideline. So a little bit of excitement on the offensive side of the football here. Coach Greenwood dialing up short passes, high percentage completions. The Lions are moving the football. They're on the 40-yard line. Quick first down. That was some kind of busted play there, but Hilger uses his athleticism and some fancy footwork, and he's going to make some positive yardage out of it. Looks like he's going to pick up about 3. Not quite sure what was supposed to take place there. If it was a draw, didn't quite look like the way an offensive line blocks when it's a draw play, but we'll take the positive yardage. Hilger coming over. They started this play clock super fast tonight. They spotted the football quickly. They got 2nd down and 8 on the big board. It's really 2nd and 7. They picked up 3 yards on the play. White's in motion. Again, another bullet snap to the left, and it's kind of disrupting the timing of these plays, but still another positive gain for the Lions, this time across the 45-yard line. like Grimes carrying the football. Third down and 4, Brody. Where are we going to run?
I would say I would give it to Tajay and let him do the rest so we could pick up first down.
Brody says, give it to Tajay. See what happens. Tajay's over here on the left, on the line of scrimmage, to the left of the quarterback. Another really bad snap, and Hilger is going to have to just do his best to make something not terrible happen. And he hits Grimes right between the numbers, scrambling to his left, and even if Colton catches that ball, he's on the sidelines, and he's actually would have lost a yard there unless he broke a few tackles. So, kind of the theme of the season so far. Seems like when anything good looks like it's about to happen, something very small kills the drive. And right now, the struggle really isn't moving the football. It's the fact that we have snaps that have been bullets and down to the left of the quarterback. Peters does not bring pressure this time. Barrios is able to get this one off. Gets another good bounce. The Lions down the football at the 26-yard line. Folks, tonight's special GHSTV sponsor is Alumni Mini Storage. Alumni Mini Storage has the best prices in the area. They can meet your needs for household storage, boat and RV parking, and more. They have a security gate entrance, and their buildings are constructed from all metal and have concrete floors. Their units come in 5x10 up to 15x30. They have 2 locations, one at 14141 Hiwassee Road and a second off Highway 59 here in town. Call them at 479-855-2505 and tell them you heard about them on the live stream. So Pea Ridge getting ready to snap the football. Busey's going to take the snap and really just run up and pick up some yards, and he broke about 4 tackles at the line of scrimmage, and nobody was fast enough to catch him, and he's going to take the football 74 yards for a touchdown on a play that should have been stopped after about a 2-yard gain. Instead, turns into a long touchdown for Pea Ridge. Pea Ridge again comes out in the old school swinging gate style. Got a man over the football, 2 to his right, 1 guy behind. And the quarterback, Busey, is over to the left. It looks like they're going to just line up and kick the traditional point after try here. And it's good, so we went from some excitement on the Gravette side of the football to giving up a long touchdown play, seems like almost immediately. So with 3:41 remaining in the first quarter, Pea Ridge leads Gravette 15-0. Folks, Teasley Drug has been your hometown pharmacy since 1984. As a pharmacy, first and foremost, their mission is to maximize your patient experience through a superior level of care and quality products. You can stop in and see them at 205 Atlanta Street Southeast, or give them a call at 787-5966. Ryan, Lindsay, and their staff are proud supporters of their community, their school system, and the Gravette athletic programs. All right, Brody, so what do you think we're going to do here? We had some success getting the football in Tajay's hands, so what do you think we're going to do here in this next series?
Well, Colton Grimes has been doing a good job with the football too, so we could give it to him a few times and let him do some work. He almost had that catch, but it was out of bounds. But I think our offense has improved pretty much, so I think they can do a good job against Pea Ridge, even though they're one of the best football teams in Class 4A of Arkansas.
I agree. So it looks like Gravette right now is having some success offensively, getting the football to the edges, so we'll see what happens here. This time the ball goes in the middle. Isaac Dan fields it. He's going to run it up into a bunch of white shirts. Gets tackled at about the 19-yard line. So we'll see what the Lions have here. You think about it, we haven't really had the football that much, as the first play from scrimmage for the Lions was an interception. Again, I think not necessarily the fault of Hilger or White, who was the intended receiver, but more the fact that we had an errant snap. So we'll see if we can get that fixed. I saw down here on the sidelines, it looked like some practice snaps going on when Pea Ridge had the football, so hopefully that's going to be remedied. If not, it's getting ready to be a long night. So lined up to the left side of the formation is number 17, Kyle Rachel. White's in the slot again to the right. This time the snap hits Hilger right between the eyes, and it passes out to Hunter Cole, who's got a little bit of speed, but he's not able to get away from the defense, as Pea Ridge's defense swarmed really well to the football there. It looked like 10 guys really had a hat on the football, so a 2-yard gain for Gravette. Let's call it 2nd down and 8. So you have to be kind of disappointed, obviously, in the way this game has started, because it's not as if Gravette has looked bad offensively. Really kind of thought we had a chance there to make Pea Ridge give the ball up after 3 downs, and instead let the quarterback run through several missed tackles for a long touchdown. That's White in motion. Snap to Hilger. It's kind of a zone play, design run by the quarterback, and it's going to lose about a yard. Actually, he's going to spot it as a 2-yard loss, which it's hard to see from here, but he's right there on the field, and I'm not. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10. Back to the original line of scrimmage. The clock continues to roll. We're under 2.5 minutes in the first quarter. And really down here inside the 20-yard line, obviously you always want to move the football as an offense, but you don't want to have to punt from this position, because in high school football you can almost guarantee that the other team is going to have a chance to get the ball on your part of the field. And so Gravette needs to get some yards here, if nothing else, to kind of get it out of this hole. White in motion again across the formation. They're going to throw it to him. He's able to catch the football, but he's not going to make it any farther after the catch as he gets out to the 25-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and 5. 4th down and 4 for the Lions, and definitely not in any sort of position to go for it. But you can kind of see Gravette's a little bit of a different team offensively, with Hilger at quarterback and White playing the various skill positions. Pea Ridge has brought pressure every time we've punted the football. And again, as I said before we ran that 3rd down play, Pea Ridge is going to take over at midfield. Folks, quickly, the Gravette Athletic Booster Club backs the programs here at Gravette High School. Has been a long-time supporter of Lion Letterman. Catch them setting up various fundraisers throughout the year and ask them about how you can join the Booster Club. Best way to find them is on Facebook. Just search Gravette Athletic Booster Club, find out how you can join. So there's a flag on the field at the 45-yard line. If the play stands, it's a sizable gain. But usually that's in the area of a hold, especially because it's on the side that the play went to. So it is a holding penalty on Pea Ridge. So it's from the spot of the foul, so it's going to back them up 5 yards from the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 1st down and 15. Brady Gravette's got to do a better job of wrapping up and making a sure tackle. What do you think?
Yeah, especially our D-line. I mean, you can't give up long runs like that. You just can't do that on the defensive side of the ball. So I think our defense needs to get eyes to thighs, wrap and squeeze, and take them down.
Eyes to thighs. He's right. So Busey's pass there, a little bit too much inside for his receiver. Pretty good play there by Dylan Hendricks. Pretty good coverage. I think he maybe forced the receiver to play kind of up over the top of the coverage rather than go underneath where Busey threw the football. So 2nd down and 15. Lions defense definitely needs to stop here. I mentioned before the game started that really a couple of scores Just doesn't seem like Gravette's built to come back from that sort of deficit. And if this gets a three-score deficit here, I think Gravette may be in early trouble. Busey with some pressure, and again, he runs out of it, and he's going to pick up the first down unless Grimes can tackle him on the spot, and he doesn't. But he's run down there by Isaac Dan, who did a good job of not giving up on the play, coming up from behind Busey and making the tackle. But again, a second down and long play turns into a first down because of some missed tackles at the defensive line. And this is where I think Pea Ridge's depth comes into play over Gravette. If you look on the sidelines, I'd guess Pea Ridge probably has about 60 players over there dressed out. Gravette has about 32, maybe 33. The defensive linemen that are on the field right now are also playing every snap on the offensive line, and that can make a difference as the game goes on. So Samuel Beard on the carry for the Blackhawks there. He's going to pick up about 3 yards, maybe 4. We'll call it 2nd and 6. So on defense right now for the Lions, they need to stiffen their necks and see if they can keep Pea Ridge out of the end zone. They're knocking a little bit at the red zone door here on the 30-yard line as the first quarter winds down. Busey takes a snap, and Beard's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back maybe a half yard. They're going to say about a half-yard loss, and I believe that's probably going to be the last play of the quarter. So when the second quarter begins, Pea Ridge is going to face a 3rd down and 7 from the Lion 30-yard line. And at this quarter break, folks, I want to tell you about Women's Health Associates in Bentonville. Ladies, they want to be along with you from birth, beauty, and beyond and help you do life on your terms. They offer many services, in-office procedures, aesthetics, weight loss, and much more. Contact them today by calling 479-876-8111. Their offices are located at 500 Southeast Plaza Avenue in Bentonville, which is just off Walton Boulevard, over by the new Hershey building, not far from Rainbow Curve. So a 3rd down and 7 is what the Lions defense is going to be facing here when Pea Ridge comes back out. I expect to see a little bit of pressure here. Can you type in the first quarter in the score? Pea Ridge 15, Gravette 0. So a big play here for Gravette. Trailing 15-0. First play of the second quarter if you're just joining us. 3rd down and 7. So we'll see what is dialed up here. And they have Busey. Actually a nice play design there. Play action. It's kind of a stick route there by the tight end, and it's enough for a first down. Even if it wasn't enough, it was right at the sticks and would have given them plenty of opportunity to go for a 4th down play on 4th and short. But it's 1st down and 10. Ball's at about the 21-yard line. The Lions, again, are there at the line of scrimmage but cannot make the initial tackle, so give up about 2 yards there, 2nd down and 8. Busey behind center. And again, 3 missed tackles, and really you can count 4 or 5 there because he just drug 2 guys inside the 10-yard line. Beard on the carry. They have him listed at 6'2", 170, so a pretty good-sized guy there. But again, several missed tackles. He's not the kind of guy that looks like he is going to be brought down with arm tackles. So the ball about the 7-yard line. They come out in the stack eye set, and Beard runs through 2, 3, 4 tackles, then he's in the end zone. So it takes Pea Ridge, after the 3rd down and 7 to start the quarter, it takes them less than a minute and a half to score another touchdown, and it's 21-0. On to attempt the extra point. And it goes to the upright. So with 10 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the second quarter, Gravette trails Pea Ridge 22-0. Well, let's find out how Shallow and Prairie Grove are doing. So the latest update was 2 minutes ago, and it looks like Shallow Christian is putting it on Prairie Grove right now with 49 seconds in the first quarter. Shallow Christian's ahead 21-7. So this kick goes up to, and it's sort of fielded by Rachel. It looks like he did end up getting back on it. I believe that's Kyle Rachel, who kind of had some issues with it. I'm sure he wasn't expecting the football to come to him. So I'm not sure if that was planned by Pea Ridge. I would say probably not. But Gravette's going to take control of the ball there. Just looks like about the 38-yard line. So we'll see what the Lions have offensively here. Pea Ridge doing a little bit of shifting on the defensive line. There's got the football on a read and does a good job there. A good backside pursuit by Pea Ridge. Mike Mahoney, the big senior, 6'3", 200 pounds, brings him down. It's enough for a first down. It looks like he might have gotten the breath knocked out of him a little bit there. As a kind of a big guy came up from behind and landed on him. Clean play, but got up a little bit slow, but he's bounced back, and now he has White to his left in the backfield. White's going to be out on the flat there. He's running a wheel route. Hilger puts it up in the air, and it's just a little bit too far. Pea Ridge did a good job of recovering there. White was open on the initial break of the wheel route. If Hilger would have had to make a perfect pass to get that right there in the breadbasket. So second down and 10. Clock stops at just under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. So this time Keegan Addison in the backfield with Hilger. White's going to motion across the formation, back toward the quarterback. Going to toss the football out to him. He's going to catch it, makes a little move, makes one man miss. Picks up about 4 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. Man, they're really starting this play clock super fast. And by play clock, I mean that 25-second clock that you have before you get to delay a game penalty. And they're setting the football quickly and getting that thing started. So Hilger throws it on a little swing pass out to White, who was lined up to his right, and that was sniffed out pretty well by Pea Ridge, and it's a loss on the play. So Gravette's going to have to punt the football after the first play of the drive resulted in a promising-looking 1st down. They're having all kinds of issues on snaps. Barrios with a really good punt there, and it's going to roll dead at about the 11-yard line. It goes out of bounds, so a really nice punt by Barrios there. Folks, Studio Ozark is a proud supporter of Lion Letterman, and they've supported me in so many ways. All of my logos, web design, and technical help come from these guys. I've sent anyone who has a need in graphic design, website building, and much more to Khalif and Justin. You can check out their work by going to their website, studioozark.com. And that's studioozark.com, and Ozark is O-Z-R-K. So Busey wanted to pass, pulls down the football, it kind of evades a rush in the backfield there from Grimes, and he's going to pick up close to probably 5, maybe 6 yards there on a busted play. Isaac Dan doing a good job of pursuit so far tonight, not giving up on plays and coming up from behind guys. But as Brody said earlier, we need to make plays at the line of scrimmage. He'd actually make the tackle. So it's going to be 2nd down and 5. Pea Ridge in a hole due to Barrios' really great punt. So we'll see if the Lions defense can keep him down there. Number 71, Jared Barker there, coming through the line. I'm pretty sure that I saw some jersey being pulled there, but the official right on top of it didn't call it. Still, the pressure by Barker forces Busey to just throw one out of bounds there. So it's 3rd down and 5, so another big 3rd down for the Lions defense. We'll see what Pea Ridge dials up here. So far, the little counterplay that they've run has had success. They've got Beard back in the backfield. He's been tough for the Lions to bring down on initial contact. Busey's going to take the ball. He's got a man open on the edge. Let's see if he can make it on the money, and he throws it out of bounds. So good coverage by Hendricks there. He forces this man out of bounds, which is what you teach corners to do right there on the sidelines. And Pea Ridge is facing a 4th and 5, and they're going to have to punt the football. The Gravette fans have lined up along the front of the bleachers here because the cheer clinic is about to start, apparently. And the punt is going to be spotted on the Gravette half of the football field, so Gravette's going to get their best field position of the night. We'll see what they can do with it. Folks, H&K Heating and Air is my go-to HVAC provider. They have fair prices, reasonable response time. I've had them come to my house for everything from maintenance to installing new vents and going into my bedroom and making things a lot more comfortable in my house. So make H&K your HVAC provider today. You can call them at 479-366-1691. handoff to White, and he's just got another gear that Gravette hasn't had out of that backfield right now. Pea Ridge does a good job there of making the tackle, but he picks up maybe 3, close to 4 yards. Let's call it 4. Why not? 2nd and 6 for the Lions. Looks like we're going to have a timeout by the Lions, so Coach Greenwood wants to talk to his guys here. And folks, I want to give another shout out to tonight's special game sponsor, Alumni Mini Storage. Alumni Mini Storage has the best prices in the area. They can meet your needs for household storage, boats, and RV parking and more. They have a security gate entrance, and their buildings are constructed from all metal and have concrete floors. Their units come in 5x10, up to 15x30. They have 2 locations, one on Hiawassee Road and the second off Highway 59 here in Gravette. You can call them at 479-855-2505 and tell them you heard about their business on the GHSTV live stream. All right, Brody, we've got 2nd down and 7. We've got the ball on our half of the field. How do we get in the end zone?
Well, with the new quarterback, I think it will be kind of difficult, but I mean, like, this is a good football team. They're improving, and putting Tajay at wide receiver and running back, I think that's a kind of a good decision because I think he's a good runner, and so what I would do is that I would make Tajay run a pretty good route and probably to about the 30 and pass it to him there.
It's like you're a wizard. Brody basically calls the play, although it was 10 yards short than what you thought he should run, but it's a completion nonetheless, and the Lions have the football at the 40-yard line, so it's 3rd down and short. Instead of the 3rd and 15, the 3rd and 11s that we've faced so far tonight, this is a manageable distance, a 3rd and short, so we'll see what happens here. It looks like Hilger's going to be under center. They've got Grimes kind of in a sniffer behind the tight end position. Addison in the backfield. And they give him the football, and instead of hitting the hole hard, he kind of dances around just a little bit as someone got driven back by the defender, and it looks like they're going to spot him for no gain. So it's 4th down. We'll call it 2. It's a long 2. It's 4th down. So 4th down and the long 2. Hilger back in the short shotgun set. It looks like Coach Greenwood maybe was hoping to draw him off sides there, and he ends up taking the 2nd timeout of the quarter. So we have 1 left remaining before halftime. Folks, going to give a shout out to all of our sponsors tonight. Couldn't do this without the help of Bank of Gravette, H&K Heating and Air, Teasley Drug, Gravette Athletic Booster Club, Women's Health Associates, and Studio Ozark, and then tonight's single game sponsor, Alumni Mini Storage. Thank you again to all of the sponsors that help bring this to you, and thanks to the GHSTV crew who brings all of the production pieces of the live stream to you each and every week. Couldn't do it without them either. We hope that you're taking advantage of the coaches show that we've been posting on the Lion Letterman YouTube channel as well. Check those out each week. Usually Mr. Galloway is able to get those up usually on Thursday. And check out what Coach Greenwood has to say about the game the week before and then the upcoming opponent. So here we go, 4th down and a long 2 for the Lions.
Nice decision, Coach Greenwood. Go, go, go! Go, go!
And Hilger keeps it. At first it looked like it was going to be blown up as number 19 for the Blackhawks stepped into the backfield there. Luis Reyes. And Hilger was able to run around him. I think Rios thought maybe he might have some help out there, and he ended up not. So a big first down pickup for the Lions. Hilger with a little bit of speed there, showing you that he also is able to be a threat with his feet from the quarterback position. So first down and 10, Gravette with their deepest drive of the night so far. Rachel having to kind of reposition himself over here. Wide in motion, right to left. The handoff to Grimes this time. Grimes is going to take it and he's going to kind of bull his way up. It looks like maybe a couple of yards. Hilger's going to have to come over and get the play quickly from Coach Greenwood. As I've mentioned, they're about to reset that play clock right now. And there it goes, so the clock has started. Trenton Durham has entered the game for the Lions. It's not the first time he's been in, but it's the first time I've noticed him, so I apologize for not pointing that out and getting his first action of the season after coming back from a broken collarbone. Hilger's going to fake it to him again on a nice read, and he's going to get a few yards. He's going to get his way up, and he's going to be close to the first down. He does get the first down. So the sticks on the other side of the field. Ty Hilger conducting a nice drive here for the Lions. Got the football just about midfield. 4 minutes and 44 seconds and counting left here in the first half. Lions not in any hurry here, milking up some clock away. Another kind of wonky snap. Hilger he's kind of throwing it away there, I think, but it was a little bit dangerous. Should have gotten a little bit more height on it so he could definitely not be picked off, but he does a good job of keeping it out of the way of the defenders. And again, I think the snap or something on the handling of the snap kept the timing from being just right on the play there. Seconds on the play clock as Hilger enters the huddle. Wyatt Caulfield goes up to the line of scrimmage, sets the line. It's time to hand off to Grimes. It looks like he's going to be spotted right about maybe the 15, so it's a gain of maybe a yard. So it's going to bring up a third down. And let's call it 9 here. And this is where the Lions have struggled. There's been plenty of opportunities, really, when they get inside of their own, they get inside the opponent's 50-yard line, they get on that side of the field, and it seems like they're on the verge of getting a touchdown. They're on the verge of pushing it over the goal line, and something happens, something stops the drive. So third down and long here, we'll see what happens. But Coach Greenwood has drawn up White at running back. He's going to shift sides over here. They need to get the play off. They do. Hilger's looking at White the whole time. White's blocking on the edge there. Hilger doing a good job of getting to the edge and getting what he can. He's inside the 10-yard line. Looks like maybe about the 9.5. But it does bring up fourth down. And I think this is in Barrios' field goal range, but I would be surprised if Coach Greenwood doesn't try and just stay on the field. And you've driven down the field this far. You're this close to the end zone. Coach Greenwood's going to go ahead and take his last time out of the first half with 3:55 left, and the Lions trail 22-0. Folks, Bank of Gravette is the oldest bank in Benton County, and they want to be your financial institution for whatever your needs are, whether it's a bank account, savings account, home loan, car loan, etc. They pride themselves on customer service and having their own hometown pride. You can give them a call at the Gravette branch, 479-787-5251. You can also stop into their locations that now have new hours in Gravette, Hiawassee, and Centerton. So thanks again to the Bank of Gravette. Folks, we got a pause in the action. If you're listening to the live stream and you want more Gravette Lions sports news and commentary, please go to the website, www.lionletterman.com. You can also find links there to the YouTube channel, the podcast, and just about everything else that we put up. So big fourth down play here for the Lions. They didn't even have the personnel they needed coming out of the timeout. That's a big oopsie. Keegan Addison runs out onto the field. So we'll see what happens here. 4th down and 4, they call it. A pump fake. Really a pretty nice throw from Hillard to White. Just a little bit late, I think, probably on the toss. Hillary got rocked on that play. Kind of surprised that they didn't throw anything on that, but the way that things go now with the way that they protect the quarterbacks. So the Lions come up empty-handed once again after getting the ball inside the red zone. Stating the obvious, saying that a touchdown would have been huge there for momentum and for confidence, but the Pea Ridge Blackhawks have the ball back ahead 22-0. There's the handoff. He does have the edge. There's 1 tackle missed, 2 tackles missed. Carson Ryan on the carry. He's going to pick up about 5 yards. We're 2nd down and 5. Pea Ridge doesn't appear to be in any sort of hurry-up mode or anything like that. Still plenty of time left in the half, 3:30 and counting. They do have all 3 timeouts remaining. Handoff is to Ryan again. He's going to break 1, 2, 3 more tackles before he's brought down there by Aiden Patton, but he does get enough for a 1st down. And again, he runs through the arm tackles of about 4 Lions before being brought down, but after that, it's about a 6-yard gain. So Ryan again on the carry. He breaks 1 tackle, and Grimes is able to kind of bulldog him around there and let the rest of his defensive teammates come up and help, but it is a gain of about 7 or 8 along the right side, and Pea Ridge starting to pick up yardage in chunks as number 60, Darius Ford, comes onto the field for the Lions. Really nice catch there on the right side by number 11, Hunter Raines. That ball was thrown super high. It was kind of a strange developing play there, and I'm not exactly sure what the Lions were doing secondary-wise. It looked like everybody backed up 30 yards and just kind of left the guy on the edge there free and clear. So now with the ball at midfield, Busey's going to take the football. He's going to throw it, and Grimes gets his hands on it. It would have been huge if he had gotten the interception, but he breaks the play up there. Second down and 10. Stops the clock on the incomplete pass. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. So 2nd and 10. Busey hands it off to Ryan. Again, he breaks 1 tackle, but this time he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage, as I believe there to clean up the play in the backfield was Lane Wilkins for the Lions, sophomore. Nice play by the young man there coming in and wrapping up. It's a loss of 3, so a long 3rd down. So the Gravette defense has had Pea Ridge in long 3rd down situations a couple times. I'm not sure the defense was set that time. Busey throws the ball. He was under a lot of pressure there. Pressure given there by Ian Drake for the Lions. And it forces an incomplete pass, and Pea Ridge brings on the punt team. So 4th down and 13, minute 48 left. I mean, I'm looking at the scoreboard, and yeah, we're down by 3 touchdowns, but you kind of have to like what you've seen from Gravette so far tonight. Pea Ridge Ridge punter on a rope to White, who fields it, isn't able to get the edge. Nice job there by Pea Ridge coming down and breaking down and keeping him from getting outside. Oak Studio Ozark has supported Lion Letterman in so many ways. I mentioned before, all of my graphic design, my websites were built by them. Anytime I need any sort of graphic redesigned and put out in a format to where we can put it on the live stream for you guys, they're the ones that do it. If you have any sort of web design need, you have a small business and you want to start a blog or whatever it is you want to do, and you have any sort of need in that area, give them consideration. You can check out their work at studioozark.com. That's O-Z-R-K. So Hilger under center. He's going to turn. It's just a straight toss pitch to White, and the edge was not set there by the tackle. Man, that was a big loss. It's going to be second and about 17 or 18 yards there. They have second and 15 up on the board, but that looks more like 7 or 8 yards behind the stick to me. Still second down and very long. So it looks like Coach Greenwood's going to kind of say, hey guys, let's slow down a little bit after that big loss and see what we can muster here. And again, just no blocking from the offensive line at all. White met in the backfield, given no chance. Looks like Pea Ridge has called a timeout. With 52 seconds left, they're going to try, obviously, to get the ball back here with good field position. Teasley Drug has been your hometown pharmacy since 1984. Be sure and stop in and see them at 205 Atlanta Street Southeast. You can give them a call at 787-5966. Ryan, Lindsay, and their staff have been longtime supporters of Lion Letterman and the community at large, the school system, and all the various athletic programs. Be sure to give them your business for all of your pharmacy and other retail needs. Brody, do you think we just play it safe here?
I don't know. Pea Ridge is probably going to blitz because I think they want us back more yards. So we're going to have to do the pass. It's third down and 15. You got to do what you got to do to get yards.
So Brody says we're going to try and do what we got to do. He's probably right, since Pea Ridge is going to call a timeout if we run it anyway. And again, just no blocking up front. Pea Ridge bringing everybody, as Brody said. They were blitzing and our line wasn't ready for it. So what started out as fairly decent field position after forcing a Pea Ridge punt has turned into Gravette going backwards by 20, 25 yards here. So fourth down and forever. And Barrios is going to be punting, and he's going to be standing somewhere around the back of the I in Lions in the end zone, which is obviously less than ideal. The best thing Gravette can hope for here is to A, have a clean snap, B, get the punt off without it being blocked, and C, getting a good bounce, kicking it away from the receiver and hoping that it rolls. So here we go. Lion fans, you need to keep your fingers crossed here. Need a clean snap. Solid protection. Pea Ridge is smart here, and they put two guys back for return. Snap is good. Barrios takes it and honestly gets off a heck of a punt in that situation. That's a great job by Roberto Barrios there. He punts the football out of the back of the end zone and kicks it about 50 yards in the air. It's fair caught at the 40-yard line. fight really the last couple of series for Pea Ridge to see if they can keep it up. They have a receiver that runs right by Barrios. Busey puts it up in the air. And they're going to call it a touchdown. The side judge didn't have any idea if he caught it in bounds or not because he was 40 yards behind the play, but he's not going to say anything, and so it's going to be a Pea Ridge touchdown. I kind of thought there might be a chance that he caught it out of bounds, but again, that's the job of the official over on Pea Ridge's sidelines, and he was a good 40 yards behind the play. He was still standing pretty much at the line of scrimmage, so there's no way he could have seen it. So the kick is good. So after a really great punt by Barrios, the Lions defense gives up a quick hit touchdown of 40 yards to Pea Ridge, and it's 29-0 with 30 seconds remaining in the first half. The replay officials didn't signal up here in time to get that play called back, apparently. So Pea Ridge kicking off a 29-0 lead. And they kick it out of bounds, so that's going to benefit the Lions. So my prediction of Prairie Grove beating Shiloh Christian turns out to be extremely prophetic, since Shiloh Christian was ahead 35-7 before halftime. Don't take me to Vegas, folks. Don't take me to Vegas. Well, there was 2 minutes and 30 seconds left before halftime. It's 35-7, so. I have said all year, however, that I thought Shiloh Christian was a sneaky pick to win the conference, so throw stuff at me later if you want to, but...
Red or black, that's where you bet.
That's right. And the Lions are going to play it safe again. And again, White's able to get around to the edge, but a guy scraping and blowing through the gap, nobody picking him up. That's number 25 for the Blackhawks. Tristan Brewer, senior linebacker, he kind of caused White to probably run wider than he wanted to initially. White's still able to pick up 5 yards. So he did go out of bounds, so the clock stops at 24 seconds left. He's just going to turn around and pitch it to White, and right now that's pretty predictable, but I think that's kind of what Coach Greenwood wants to do, is just get out of the first half down 29-0 here and not try to do anything that's going to get you a turnover and let Pea Ridge score a cheap touchdown before halftime. We're going to show the band performance. All right. So, folks, I'm going to get off the mic here at halftime and sit back and enjoy the band performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, prior to the Pea Ridge band performance, we'd like to share some information regarding a former employee. The Gravette School District decided to announce the passing of our former band and choir director, the legendary Gary Ratcliffe. Mr. Ratcliffe elevated the band program in Gravette to one of, if not the most, respected bands in the state of Arkansas. Some of the highlights of Mr. Ratcliffe's time at Gravette included the band performance at halftime of the Kansas City Chiefs game and the unforgettable lights out show on the McAdoo Field. Mr. Ratcliffe worked tirelessly for his program, demanded hard work, high standards from all involved. He left a legacy of students who loved him, loved music, and love the Gravette band. Will you please join us in a moment of silence in memory and in honor of Mr. Jerry Gravette. Thank you very much. Also, we'd like to remind everyone tomorrow the Gravette High School Band will be performing on Saturday, December 6th at the Pea Ridge Band Contest. Gravette's performance is scheduled at 3:45, and we hope you will come out and support our band and cheer them on to a #1 rating. The band will be performing tonight after the game, and we hope you'll also stay and enjoy the show after the game. Pea Ridge, you may take the field.
All right, Lion fans, welcome back. We're about to kick off the second half here in just a few minutes. And the Lions trail 29-0, and I believe, if I remember correctly, we got the ball first, so Pea Ridge will be receiving the second half kickoff. On the mic with me now here to start the second half. He was in here in the booth with me in the first half, Brody Bohannon, who is the son of Gravette defensive coordinator, Coach Kelly Bohannon, and also Gravette, you know, this is the middle school, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Sixth grade language arts.
Yeah, and this is Bohannon at the middle school, who is also a former Lady Lion, class of 2002. So Brody going to be giving us some good insight up here in the booth for the second half. So Brody, we're down 4 touchdowns, buddy. What do you think you need to see from Gravette here in the second half?
Well, of course, Pea Ridge has been blitzing a lot, and as you saw, I think on our last drive, they have driven us all the way back to, I think, near our goal line, but luckily we got that punt off. The linemen did their job, we got a good snap, and got the punt off, so I was glad we got that good. And what I'm expecting this half is intensity. You need a lot of intensity, or when you get excited, you usually play pretty good. So we need to bring some intensity on the field, and I think that's how we can maybe pull off a comeback win.
Yeah, and I think that in a situation like this, intensity is really pretty much what you want to see as a coach. You don't want to see guys quit and hang their heads, and you want to see them come back and battle, because honestly, with the way that the rules are in Arkansas high school football today, if Pea Ridge comes out, gets the ball, and scores on their first possession, the mercy rule is in effect after that, and the clock runs pretty much no matter what, and it kind of takes away any chance that you would have if you were in a position to make a comeback. But we'll see if the Lions defense is able to come out here in the second half and really get things started the way that we should. Before we get started in the second half here, I want to give a shout out again to all of our great sponsors: Bank of Gravette, H&K Heating and Air, Teasley Drug, Gravette Athletic Booster Club, Women's Health Associates, and Studio Ozark. And then tonight's GHSTV game sponsor is Alumni Mini Storage. So the Lions coming onto the field here to start the second half as the warm-up clock runs down. I mentioned depth being an issue, perhaps, for the Lions tonight. Coach Momley just stepped in the booth here. Coach, what do you think they have, 65 kids?
They've got about 65, yeah.
Yeah, they've got a lot of players. I haven't counted them on the roster yet, but we're playing old school Ironman football in the Gravette Lions this year, with linemen playing both ways, and really, once you know who a guy is on offense by his number, you don't really have to look at anybody else up on defense when the Lions are on defense, because it's the same guys playing both sides of the football. And Coach Momley, I see Kyle Smithers down there on the sidelines.
He is doing his intern here.
Oh, the dog.
Helping coach.
Kyle Smithers, class of 2012. Kyle was one of those guys that was on the team no matter what. Didn't get a ton of playing time, really. His senior year, he ended up being pretty strong, pretty fast, and we put him out a few times on fairly important plays, and he was just the kind of kid that always did what he was told and was in the right place at the right time and worked hard and just loved to be a part of the team. Good to see him down there. And he's coaching like that's a tight game. I'd like to see that too. So Barry's going to kick off here to start the second half. And Brody, we'll see if what you said about intensity holds true here on the Lions' first defensive series.
Our kicking game needs to be ready because, as you saw last game, on the opening kickoff, Gravette took it to the house, so we can't let that happen anymore this season.
I agree. So a short kick by Barrios, and Pea Ridge is going to take it, and he's kind of rodeoed down just past the 35-yard line. So Pea Ridge is going to have decent starting field position here. sound technician, feverishly running in and out of the room here.
Our defense needs to be ready because their QB is pretty fast, so we're going to need to catch up.
I think the thing that I want to see more from improve from the first half is just wrap up on tackling here. Let's see what happens. Pitch out to Beard. It'll be the Kyle Rachel there on the initial tackle. Looks like they're going to give him 8 or 9 yards. It'll be second down and short here, so the guys that Pea Ridge have been handing the football off to are pretty good sized running backs. I believe both of them are listed over 6 foot tall, about 175, 180 pounds. There's a mistake. The pulling guard on the backside, quarterback wasn't able to get the ball seated, meaning not inside his numbers there, not into his belly, and the guard pulling there on the backside knocks the ball out of the quarterback's hands. So the Lions catch a bit of a break. So third down and 3. Where do you think they run or pass here?
If it's third down and 3, I would probably go for one since you got a 170-pound running back. Yeah, let's run the ball. I think that's what Pea Ridge would do.
I think it looks like what Gravette's defense thinks is going to happen too, is they've got everybody stacked up in the middle there and honestly do a pretty good job, but yeah, I think so too.
So it looks like Pea Ridge is going to pick up on first down.
Yeah, the Lions were right there, able to kind of clog up the middle, but he was able to squirt through some of those openings. So first down and 10 for Pea Ridge. Beard cuts it back there to the inside and takes a semi-decent hit, but again, just the Gravette defense kind of over pursues there a little bit. If you're somebody who's planning on turning the broadcast off here in a few minutes, don't do that, because Coach Mobley is going to get on the microphone here in just a little bit. He doesn't know it yet, but he is. Looks like another botched exchange there, and I think they do. So the Gravette Lions working with something here. So Pea Ridge has a couple of mistakes and just simple execution along the front there between quarterback, center, and the offensive lineman, and Gravette gets a turnover. Did you see who came up with it, Billy?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of hard. There were a lot of guys there.
I think I saw right there, number 5, Zach Withrow or something.
Yeah, that's them. Here, right here.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Ian Drake.
Ian Drake.
Yeah.
Put the ball in the turnover bucket, so I think looks like it's going to be first and 10.
So there's a handoff there. I can't tell if that's Dan or Addison or Durham. I think it's Durham because of the orange cleats that it is. So Trenton Durham in his first action of the season in this game. As I mentioned earlier, he came back from his collarbone injury, picks up a nice chunk of yardage there, about 9 yards, gets it across midfield. They're going to call it a first down, so even better.
Like I said before the second half kicked off, our players need intensity. That's what I see on the sidelines. Everybody's jumping around, having a good time. That's what I like to see.
And you called it before we started. And there's a read, and Hilbert does a good job getting around the left side. Then he's going to run out of bounds smartly. So the Lions picking up some chunks of yards here. The coaching staff getting kind of fired up.
As I already said, I see a lot of intensity on the sidelines right now. Everybody's pumped up. And you know what that means. I think we can maybe get a score right here, too.
Well, a touchdown would definitely be something we're seeing here. As Gravette's only had 2 on the season, moving the ball nicely right here. Don't want to jinx anything, but Hilbert's going to drop back to pass. He's got a man open. White fights for the football, and he's got it at the 10-yard line. He's going to fight for a couple more yards. So Hilbert kind of underthrows it just a little bit, but White makes a good play on the football. Out fights the defender. And the Gravette Lions are in business.
this alive the whole game. As I saw from our first few games, we've been choking in the second half. So right now I'm liking the upset.
Hilger makes a read there, and he's going to get bottled up there on the right side. I thought that probably, I'm not going to say should have, because I'm not exactly sure if it was a play designed to have a read or not, if it was just a straight keep for him, but I thought that Durham had the football there. It looked like he had a little bit of running room. But Hilger's going to be dropped for a loss of a yard or two. And again, this is what we talked about in the first half. Gravette has been so close in some of the games that we've seen so far this year, especially early in games, and just couldn't quite get it into the end zone. So 2nd and goal from the 11. He's going to put the ball on the money to White. White's going to fight through. He's going to keep fighting. He's at the 5. There's a whole bunch of Blackhawks, and it looks like the official is going to spot him a yard shorter than where I thought he was. But a nice pass from Hilger to White. That's been the connection of the night so far. Coach Greenwood getting the ball out to his most dynamic athlete on offense any way that he can. He's had a handoff in the backfield, catches from the slot. He's returning punts. So here we go, 3rd down and goal from the 6-yard line, and we've got a stop in the play clock here. And they're going to say something. They're telling Grimes he's got an equipment issue or something like that, so that's going to be a hindrance to the effort, as Grimes was out there to block. Looks like it wasn't much of an issue. Looks like an eagle eye official over there. And some confusion in the backfield. And White's going to be brought down after a gain of maybe a half yard. Yeah, I think Wilkins came out to replace Grimes, who had an equipment issue. So it's 4th down and goal from the 5. These boys just need to get the ball in the end zone. Trenton Durham's got the football, and did he stretch it out? And the official is calling it not a touchdown, and he was 40 yards away. Nobody ran into the football, and they're going to say that he did not cross the plane. How the guy calling it dead right there saw that, I will never know. But he did, and so the Lions started over on downs after what looked like a promising drive. The only positive to take out of that is now Pea Ridge has to start their drive from inside the 1-yard line. The back of the football is as close to the goal line as you can possibly be without being over it. So they come out in super tight splits, and Busey's just going to take it and get him out of that little hole. The Lions let him. He gets more than what he should have out of that, so it's 2nd down and about 6.
What most people would do right here is they would do a blitz, but after seeing what Pea Ridge has been doing tonight, their passing has been phenomenal, so I'm going to do very much blitzing over here.
It doesn't look like they really did, and Pea Ridge picks up a couple yards, so it's going to be 3rd down and about maybe 4, maybe a long 3 for Pea Ridge here. But again, as Brody was saying, it's not really the type of place that a Pea Ridge offense would really want to take too many gambles, so I don't expect to see anything too out of the ordinary here. So Gravette needs to, again, stiffen up and try and stop a simple offense here, which is exactly what they see. It's a toss. They're going to try to get to the edge, and they do. As Beard gets out up to close to the 20-yard line. So 1st down for Pea Ridge. They get themselves out of the hole. Folks, the last time I saw a Shiloh Christian Pea Ridge score, it was Shiloh Christian 35. I'm sorry, Prairie Grove. It was Shiloh Christian 35, Prairie Grove 14. And I'm pretty sure that Pea Ridge's right tackle decided to take off early there, but nobody called it, and Busey's got the football, and nobody's going to catch him. So he's going to go 79, 78 yards for his, it's a second run of 70-plus yards of the game. And that will make the mercy rule in effect because of the fact that we already had a two-point conversion. So it's 35-0 with 5 minutes and 41 seconds left in the third quarter.
Our defense needs to keep an eye out for him. As I've seen from all these plays, they have some really fast cats.
BC, of course, took the reins this year for graduated quarterback Dakota Sainsbury, who is now on the team in Henderson State. And there's a bad snap, and the Lions are going to stop him. And so if it wasn't for the two-point conversion in the first quarter, Coach Mobley, the mercy rule would not be in effect, but unfortunately it is. So 35-0 with 5 minutes and 41 seconds left. So let's let Coach Mobley get on the mic here for a minute, and then you can jump back on here a little bit here.
Let's let the legend talk.
Brody, you're too kind, young man. You're too kind.
So while we're waiting on Coach Mobley to get set up here, shout out to our sponsor, Bank of Gravette. Be sure to see them at one of their branches in Gravette, Hiawassee, or Centerton. You can see them on Main Street here in Gravette. Check out their new hours. I think I posted them online, let them in social media yesterday. You can give them a call at the Gravette branch at 479-787-5251. So Coach Mobley, your first year out of coaching now for quite a while, and you saw many years of Gravette football. And I know you've seen a lot of years, kind of like what we're doing right now, the 0-5, even though maybe not 0-5 necessarily, but there were a lot of tough years.
We've seen some lean years in the past, but one thing I know about Gravette football is you might have the lean years, but they will bounce back.
Yeah.
They have that tenacity to do that.
That's one of the things that I've tried to kind of remind folks maybe who are new to the community as Burroughs kind of dances around. He's going to try to reverse field. Does a good job of avoiding a few tacklers, but he's going to end up losing a few yards. But
We need to make sure we run north and south on that and not
it doesn't seem this year there's really only maybe a guy or two who kind of has some of that speed to do that like we've seen in the past. Tajay White probably being one of them, but Coach, and all the, looking at this, if you were still on the sidelines, we talked about just seeing the team continue to compete here, and I think we saw that on that first drive,
First drive coming out, they moved the football, and which is if you look for a positive, that's going to be one right there, is that they did move the football.
So we'll see what the Lions are able to do here. So Hilger's still in at quarterback. He hands the ball off to, I believe that's Dan. Is that 32, Brody?
32.
Nope, 36. Keegan Addis, right?
Yes. That's what they look for with this offense. They run that inside zone. They want that running back to press the line, and they're looking at the linebacker, and they're going to find the cutback zone on that inside zone.
So he picks up a pretty decent chunk of yards. They call it 4 on the big board. Hilger's going to come out and pass. He's looking for White. And Tajay kind of mistimed his jump just a little bit there. That was actually a pretty good throw by Hilger. I think Coach Tajay, he's adjusting obviously to a new position this week, and not quite as sharp coming out of some of his cuts as probably what he'll be next week.
He will get better with that, and it really does when you take Tajay and put him outside and you put Cy in at quarterback. It really gives you more opportunities to get the ball into Tajay's hands for him to be able to do something.
third down and I guess kind of medium here, but it's been a better situation than what Gravette has faced a lot of the night here in third downs.
Outside.
Hilder he does a good job avoiding the rush.
Get out of bounds.
So,
Bring up a fourth down here.
yeah, Gravette's going to have to punt. The clock continues to run, however, even though Hilder ran out of bounds. Again, it's the mercy rule. Coach, I want to say something that might seem a little far-fetched, but, it's Hilder's first start as a high school quarterback. He's wearing a familiar number.
He is indeed.
Number 10, and honestly, right there, his little scramble out to the left and getting some positive yards kind of reminded me of maybe baby brother Ethan. Yeah. He actually kind of looked like him there. And I remember, former head coach Bill Harrison was really high on Cy Hilder in junior high, so I think he's got a pretty bright future. And of course, you saw him come up through 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade.
Cy's going to be an outstanding quarterback for Gravette. And defense is going to really have to step up here, and we've got to have someone that's going to set the edge for us.
Yeah, it seems like there's been a few times where it looked like we were kind of in position, but there just was nobody out there to force, and they got able to get to the edge and get to the outside. The clock continues to roll here. Pea Ridge comes out, tight splits, 3 backs in the backfield. It looks like at this point and they let Beard get loose again. So I think at that point, Coach Alexander over there, the play caller for Pea Ridge, was just kind of content to grind it out a little bit. And
we're just going to pound the ball inside, and they're going to say, this is what we're going to do, and you're going to have to stop us. It's at this point in time, I think we got a lot of guys playing both ways, and they're tired. And when you get tired, you get a little bit lazy sometimes.
Oh, you know what? And I thought it was Isaac Dana on the carry, but he is actually on the sidelines in street clothes. So that means for the majority of the season, the 2 main rushers out of the backfield are on the sidelines in street clothes in Mason Dudley and Isaac Dan. So let's hope Isaac is okay. I know Mason's dad told me earlier this week that he is out for, I think, another 3 weeks. That's counting tonight, so 2 games after tonight. So he had a really bad ankle sprain. He's in a walking boot.
Talking about Isaac Dan. Isaac Dan's going to be a good ball player. He's just a sophomore, and he's just got to get his confidence up. It's a brand new scheme for him, and when you come in in a new scheme, sometimes it takes a while to build up your confidence and understand the concepts of the inside zone. And I think when he understands that, he's going to be a pretty good ball player.
Yeah, he showed some flashes of a kind of kid that can really improve, and especially just as a sophomore. I really thought in his first game when they played Cassia Hall, you were here, Coach, we talked that night, I thought he was hesitant the first few times he had the ball because it was his first action, but after that I thought he looked pretty good.
He was hesitant, and it was the fact that he's got to press that line hard, and he really doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
He would press and then try to get to the outside. He just doesn't have the speed to get on the outside, and I think that hurt him a little bit. But he's a strong kid. I mean, he's one of the strongest kids we've got in the program.
Yeah, he's a pretty good-looking kid. He's compact. He's got thick legs. So 42-0, minute 26 left. Of course, the clock's going to run, but we're going to see what Gravette has in him here as the ball goes off of Durham's hands into the end zone. So it's going to be beneficial for him because of the rules in Arkansas high school football. The ball goes into the end zone. Doesn't matter who touches it beforehand. So while we're waiting for Gravette's offense to come out onto the field, one more shout out for H&K Heating and Air. They've been in business since 1999, owned by a couple of guys who played some football for Gravette and other sports. And they want you to know that their customers are the best advertising they can have. You can find H&K on Facebook. Just search H&K Heating and Air. You can also call them at 479-366-1691. So, Coach, looking at what you've seen so far tonight, and I know it's going to sound silly to say, it's 42-0. there's been some small improvements. There's been a few glimmers of hope, I think, for the next few games.
There's been some positive things happen on both offense and defense. There really have.
Durham's going to get dropped for no gain there. And I think a lot of it, Coach, is due to the adjustments that we've seen made personnel-wise.
Yes.
I think that, last year, obviously, you were still on staff, and Coach Harrelson tried to do a lot of things to get to get Austin O'Brien out into space, get the ball in his hands, and I think we've seen what the next few games with Gravette are going to be like, trying to get Tajay White the football.
Getting him outside and getting him into the passing game. I'll just say, I feel for this coaching staff. Coach Bohannon, I've had a chance to talk with him, and he is a great young man, and he does a really good job with this defense. And the guys are just going to have to step up. You've got to find somebody that will step up and make a play. And some of these guys that aren't getting the playing time right now, they're going to need somebody from that group is going to need to step up to give those guys that play on the offensive line a chance to rest.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that you've seen kind of what Coach Bohannon's schemes are like. You've seen every game this year, either live or one on live stream, and I think we're in the right direction. And I think that it's going to come down really to, the kids getting comfortable and just adjusting. There's a lot of guys playing football for Gravette this year. This is the first time they've really touched the field since they were in junior high because of just the way things have worked. I believe that's Grimes lined up in the backfield with Hilbert here. Pea Ridge showing some kind of pressure again. The snap is off. Grimes is just going to have to see what he can do with it.
There's a football player, guys, right there called Grimes.
Yeah.
He is as tough as they come.
Yeah, he's kind of cut out of that old school mold, kind of that hard nosed, able to do pretty much everything. So he's got a little bit of a cramp going on for him there, but he's played I think 4 positions tonight. So
yes, it's hard to get him off the field. He does not want to come off that field, and he'll give you 110%.
So he did pick up a few yards there, maybe 1 or 2. Another bad snap. Hilbert's going to, again, just have to do with it what he can, and he does a pretty good job of avoiding one guy, maybe 2, can't get away from the third. And that sets us something, Coach, we talked about. He's going to learn this. He's going to get it. There you just throw it away. And I know he's trying to make good things happen, and he's in his first game, and he obviously wanted it to be different than this. But he'll learn as he gets older. If he gets that ball, there's nothing there. Throw it over everybody's head.
But also, you notice right there that whether your offensive linemen are tired,
yeah, that's true.
It's hard for them to move their feet. And in order to pass block, you've got to be able to move your feet. And it's...
Barrios with another really good punt. I was really kind of hoping that guy would mishandle that. That's a good play right there. Here's Brown on the stop. First time I think we've called his name tonight, but that was a really good play there. So, Coach, as they transition and go over offense to defense, you've now been gone for a few months. What do you miss the most about being on the sidelines on Friday? What is this? What is something that you knew you were going to miss? What is it?
You miss the interaction that you would have with the other coaches, with the players, and even with the officials. I had a lot of fun interacting with the officials.
No, you did not. I never saw that once.
It was fun to be able to interact with them. And bless their heart, they do a good job. Yeah, they do a really good job. It's hard to see everything
they do.
in this place. And
everyone thinks they know the rule.
Everyone thinks they know the rule, even me.
Well, I know that you mentioned earlier, and I think you validated what I've been trying to say really all year. There have been a few kind of valleys in Gravette football over the last 30 years where there's been a season that wasn't as good as folks thought it should be, but then it seems like there's always a couple bounce back years in between there, and that's just kind of the way it goes at a school this size.
Well, when Coach Greenwood, when he's really able to establish his program and what he wants to do, and Coach Bohannon is able to establish and to really understand, because you understand, Coach Bohannon came in, he was kind of a late hire. He came in late, and he didn't have a chance to set his defense, and once he has that opportunity, they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, really, if I'm looking at the sideline, you count Coach Greenwood, who was hired the last day of school. Coach Bohannon came in the summertime. Coach McKenzie came in the summertime. So the kids have had a big adjustment, and they haven't, like you said, they haven't had even a half season with the staff.
When they get that going, and the players understand what the expectations are of the coaches, they're going to be just fine.
So looking ahead at the schedule, Coach, I know we've got Shiloh Christian coming up, and I don't even want to talk about them for a few other reasons, but we've got some games on the schedule that I know that we can win. They're winnable games. If as a staff, how do you prepare these guys now? They're going to be 0-6 after tonight. They're not going to win tonight, obviously. How do you prepare these guys? You've been in this situation, right? You know that there's still a chance to make the playoffs with the way that the rules are. They have 2 games. There's 3. The 3 that they can win: Green Forest, Gentry, and Berryville. They lost to Lincoln. It's going to hurt them. But how do you keep pushing forward with that?
You have to be, as hard as it is, you have to be positive. You have got to keep them battling. And through practice, you have to keep them battling. And sometimes it's hard to do. It really is. I've struggled with it on occasion to try and get the players to go out and play hard and keep their composure and keep their level of excitement. I heard Brody talking about that right there, intensity.
Yeah. And right now, the Lions have a 4th down to try and see if they can get Pea Ridge off the field, and it doesn't look like they're going to do it. No, they do it. Yep. Okay. Well, it's close.
Once again, there you saw that they were able to get to the edge. It's one thing that that we're going to have to work with right there. And I know what the concept is. They're wanting to see that safety come down hard and set, and help set that edge.
Right.
But I'll say during this transition period right here, it is awful nice to see. You've got Cody Alexander on the other side calling plays for Pea Ridge.
A former Gravette Lion.
Former Gravette Lion. I had the pleasure of coaching him. Coach McKenzie, Sheldon McKenzie is on the sideline. I had the pleasure of coaching him. Adam Vore is up here in the booth. He played at Gravette. Smithers, Coach Smithers, he played for Gravette. I'm standing beside someone who played here, and that's a good job right there by side. It's nice to be able to see those guys come back, and get into this sport.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I was thinking about that just the other day, talking about the fact, Coach Cole's been here now, I think since the 2001 season was his first year. He's been here forever. He's raised his kids here. Yes. Coach Vore's back. You were mentioning, I don't need to go through the whole list again, but I think it speaks for the community. I think it speaks for the school and the people. The people want to come back and help.
I cannot tell you. My plan was to be here for 5 years and then move on. I ended up being here 27 years, and I do not regret one year, well, maybe 1 year.
I like to think it's the year I moved to town. Is that what it was? Coach Mobley's first year in Gravette and my family's first year in Gravette were the same year.
Oh, right off the fingertips.
That was a great pass by Hilger, and honestly, Durham, again, I think still kind of getting into the groove of the season. Coach, you probably remember this. I missed the first 3 games my sophomore year, kind of like Durham did. Had my appendix taken out, and there's a big jump from freshman football to high school football, and you kind of takes you a bit to kind of get acclimated.
Well, I can remember the first high school game you played in was at Lamar, and you were a
Oh, that's true, yeah.
You were a ninth grader.
That's true. I was wearing a white helmet. Everybody had on black helmets but me. It was great. I think they thought I was some sort of ringer. I want to point out we won that game, too.
I do remember that. Somebody's holding back.
Folks, Hilger, you know, it may be kind of tough to tell because of the stream, and he's got a good arm. He's got a lively arm. He's thrown pretty accurate footballs tonight. Coach Mobley mentioned about his potential. I like what I've seen so far tonight. You know, as a former quarterback and as a guy who has watched a lot of quarterbacks come through here, I think he's got a shot to be really, really good. He just needs, like you said, another year, another time, more time in the system, more time lifting weights, getting stronger, being more mature.
Well, Cy runs about a 4.6, 4.7 40, so he is not slow.
He's going to pitch it to White here, and again, just nothing on the outside. And this is kind of what, you know, you wanted to see from Tajay White, and that's why he's at that position. And it looks like we're going to get some extra yardage on the end. I would assume probably a face mask at the end of the play, not intentional.
But this is important for Gravette right here. This is important for him to come out and establish a drive right here.
Yeah, I think so. I think even though the game is out of hand and even though things haven't gone the way that, you know, you wanted them to, I completely agree with you. You get that touchdown and you get a little bit of positive momentum going into next week. Face mask, I think, or horse collar, actually. I think is what he's, yeah. Yeah, it's not easy to be thrilled when you're about to be 0-6, but there are, like I said, there are some winnable games ahead, and I think that this has kind of proven that tonight, really, when you look at it.
You understand when they go in and beat Bearville and beat Green Forest, and they will be playing Gentry to see about the playoffs.
That's right, in Week 10. And I happen to remember another Week 10 when that happened, and we beat them 3-0, and they went to basketball season.
That's right.
And I tell people that story now because if people are new to the area or newer to the area, we were both 8-1 in Week 10 going into that game. Both of us had lost to Huntsville, and they finished the season 8-2, and they stayed home. Didn't go to the playoffs. People can't even fathom that now. And they were a good team.
They were. They're a very good team.
But we still won. On a Ryan Allman field goal. No. The pass, yeah. A little bit of a flag that came out before the interception. We'll see what it's for. It looks like it could be in the area maybe of a holding on the defense. We're hoping maybe. I can't tell if it's at the line of scrimmage or not, but he's pointing toward Pea Ridge, so.
It's going to be pass interference. Or like you said, holding.
Yeah. It's like we've watched a lot of football or something, Coach. Look at that. Looks like we can make predictions. So that pass was a little bit behind White. You know, deflection, one of those things that if it would have stood as an interception, you know, if you just look at the stats, you think, oh, well, whoever threw an interception. But it was a ball that maybe could have been caught. I'm not going to say should have. So it wasn't a perfectly thrown ball. But again, you know, not to keep pounding the same drum here, I really like what I've seen out of this personnel shift with Tajay White, not playing quarterback anymore, and Hilger in there. So I kind of think you're seeing what the rest of the season is going to look like for Gravette offensively, and then you're seeing what the quarterback position for Gravette is going to look like the next 2 years.
The one thing you're going to find out here in the next few weeks is that Tajay will not be a secret.
No, that's true.
Teams were going to be trying to defense him.
And I'm going to tell you, he's going to be worn out in the morning. There's Colton Grimes. He has gone in motion across the formation. He's ran route. Look at him. He's got his hands on his hips now like, oh, my goodness. It's probably the most he's had to run during a game, and maybe since JV his sophomore year.
I'm going to tell you, somebody's going to need to get a breath mint right here to get him spot.
So it's second down and about 4 here. Go comes out in a heavy formation, little bunch tight, and Durham gets the football and
Durham is a hard runner.
makes a pretty nice cut there at the line of scrimmage.
He will be a good addition as the weeks go on.
So the clock's going to be close to a minute here. It runs. It may sound silly, but I'd really love to see a touchdown here. There's, and that football looked like it was maybe put on Durham's hip. And Coach, I believe that's. I know that's 2 trips inside the 5-yard line that we've had without any points. And I think we had one other in the red zone where we didn't have any points.
Be able to overcome that.
And again, that right there, not forced by Pea Ridge, and I would assume Pea Ridge is going to take a knee here, and one knee is all they need to take. The official trying to signal to start the clock, and it's hard to remember these mercy rule things with the clock. Well, Coach Mobley, thank you so much for joining.
It has been my pleasure, and I appreciate Brody letting me step in for him.
Heck yeah. You did a great job, Brody.
He's a great young man, just because he called me a legend.
Oh. Hey, he knows which side of the bread to butter. That's what it is.
Hey, Brody, you're a great young man, son.
Well, folks, we'll bring this to you next week again, live and free. Thanks again to all of our sponsors. Appreciate the crew from GHSTV. Thanks to our man, Brody Bohannon, for being in here and lending a hand on the microphone and stats and spotting. And Coach Mobley,
It's been my pleasure.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next week, folks.